Welcome, everybody. Good to see you. Ralph here. Let me just load this up on YouTube and we'll be all set. Happy Sunday. And let's see, just about to get ready to roll. Okay. Okay, so today's session has felt really big. I'm tracking, and I've gotten a lot of emails. Hey, everybody. That some people are doing really well and some people are having some tough times. And so here goes. So know that I'm in session for an hour. Woke up about got out of bed at 4:40 this morning, and then from 5 o'clock on, we're on. So this is so you're already in it. And what I've got for you, how do I even start? So my how do I start? Let's all spin energy around you like this. Just imagine it, like you're in a whirlpool, and then there's another bigger whirlpool outside of you that's spinning the other way. And whether you can feel it or see it or not, it's okay. And so just spin, and then take that imaginary pebble as if it's real and just let it go, and it falls into your heart space. As if there's a pool of water here or empty space. So of course, if it hits a pool of water, it would ripple out. But if you really had a pebble and you dropped it, you don't have to make it hit the water. You don't have to make it ripple out. You don't even have to watch it ripple out. All you got to do is let go. So on 3, let's go ahead and all let go all together. 3, 2, 1. And then, that place that brings you amazing joy. If it's a vacation spot, if it's a beach, if it's a bay, if it's a certain place you go, if it's a certain place you've been, a certain thing you do, it doesn't have to be spiritual. It shouldn't even be spiritual. It should just be what you actually like. It could be shoe shopping. It could be this. It could be that. It could be anything you want. And so go to that feeling right now. That's it. When I first started doing this matrix energetics, I remember one person, I used to do these free consults, like 5, 10, 15 minutes at lunch. And I had some kind of chip on my shoulder, I guess, but I just wanted to show people how cool it was. So I wasn't even trying to sign people up for anything. I didn't even care. We were busier than we could possibly see everybody. And so people would come in. I remember one lady that was really sweet, really cool, and she had chronic pain, all sorts of stuff. And she, so I did this. And I said, okay, so walk around, tell me what's different. And she looked at me and she said, how come my prayers are not answered? Because all of her pain had just gone away. I saw one woman with terrible rheumatoid arthritis pain. And in one of these sessions, these short ones, she just started crying because all this pain was gone. And maybe it came back, maybe it didn't. But I've seen some miracles. And so I'm going to tell you something right now that I is one of those secrets of life that's easy to miss. Okay, so spin energy, drop a pebble, let go, and then go to that feeling of something that gives you joy. It really makes you happy. And for some reason, today during this big meditation, big session that I was doing for you as we were getting ready today, I got, if you know you're going to die, they can't hurt you. So, of course, if you draw the timeline out long enough, it's where we're all going, right? Our physical bodies are going to die. So, and the funny thing is, of course, we don't know when it is. You know, I was on the Mount Baker Highway. We live 25 miles outside of town right now. We're moving, but there's all these crosses and memorials all the way down the highway. And when we were in San Diego, this guy from up here that sold us our salmon, he said, God, that's a highway. I've lost a lot of friends on that highway. And we know people that have died on that highway in the short time we lived here. And when this winter, I was driving my truck. It was icy road and driving 40 miles an hour. I had my ginger tea, which is great to drink. And 40 miles an hour, I was like taking my time. I thought, you know, I'm just going to enjoy my drive because it's icy. The whole road was pure ice. And instantly my truck started to go, and I knew there was a big ditch with a drop off on this side. And then it shot across the road, and in between traffic, I went through a barbed wire fence into a field, and I'm like, holy shit. And I'm just like, oh my God, I almost died. I didn't even think like that. Actually, I was like, just like that's crazy. And I waited until somebody came from one of the neighbors and found out whose fence it was and left the messages and called Jen. And I was only 30 minutes late for my client. But I think about that as I drive down that road, because there's these giant trucks with tons of cut trees. They weigh a lot. And if I would have gone right in front of one of them, that's it, right? So I don't know what that means, but I got this morning, if you know you're going to die, then they can't hurt you. And then it's, how do you want to live? And so, yeah, this is awesome. That's it. Whatever that is, you just notice what's happening in your body. Stay in your body and just notice it. Yeah, because it's really scary, right? You got conditions, you got stuff. It can be really, really, really scary. Yeah, whatever that is, stay in your body. And so it's easy to depend on somebody that seems like they're going to keep you safe. You know, a medical system, a doctor in a white coat, a big giant building with all this technology and all these nurses and doctors. And it's easy to think, okay, I'll be safe. There we go. And so it's really cool to do your own research ahead of time. And even when you're in those really scary times, to have at least part of you go check it out and do some research. Email me and I can do some research for you. You're with me here. So email me if you have any questions. If it's like, oh my God, what about this? And they're telling you to do this and they're telling you to do that. I have a friend in San Diego, and he was reading a whistleblower book because he works for a pharmaceutical company, and it was a whistleblower book written by a whistleblower about that exact company. And it's the company that just recently we found out came to light that they had been putting asbestos in the baby powder for 50 years, lying about it. And he was reading it, and he said he's one of the researchers in that company, big researcher, PhD guy. And he was so distraught, like it was really affecting him, because he said, this is his words, it's not my words. And I have no data, no links to say, hey, here's what happened. But here's what he told me. He said 1/4 of their medical research to bring drugs into the marketplace are actually, they just erase stuff and write in their own data. I mean, that's heresy to say that. Maybe I'll get sued, I don't know. But that's what he told me. And my friend had her mom still alive, and her mom had terrible Alzheimer's, dementia. And she was on all these drugs. And she was talking about it, because I was like, God, how can it be, man? And this other guy, another friend of mine, was like, oh, Ralph, you're so naive. It's just how the world is. And he was like freaking okay with it. Are you kidding me? But this researcher friend of mine looked at my other friend whose mom had Alzheimer's and said, those drugs don't work. So if you know you're going to die, they can't hurt you. So now let's take all of that. There we go. And spin energy. Spin energy. Drop a pebble just because you can. And go to the feeling of something that brings you great joy. There we go. Love, forgiveness, and healing now. There we go. Now, of course, you don't want to miss anything. Like with me, I was doing tons of this deep meditation, deep matrix energetics, lots of Qigong, yet I still had depression and severe bone pain for about 2 years. I literally thought I was on the way out. And then I found out they were putting fluoride in the water and I was drinking it and it was exactly my symptoms. And I got the filters for the house, found spring water, and then found boron. There's a remedy for fluoride, boron and magnesium. And I detoxed it. And 3 days later, I was back to running and pain-free. So we want to make sure we don't do something in the physical world. Like there's this energetic world. There you go. And then there's also, make sure we don't do something that's like going to hurt us, right? So there's a really cool site, Sawyer G. I'm going to call this up. He has an article, his origin story of what happened to him. But I guess he had his tonsils out at some point in his life. I think as a kid, young guy or something, and he credits that to like when he started having his health deteriorate. But the cool thing is, it led him on a big path, and now he has this site called greenmedinfo.com. Greenmedinfo.com. Highly recommend it, because it's all the PubMed research, all the peer-reviewed medical research in the medical journals by the researchers themselves. But this is the research that's not funded by the pharmaceutical industry. So it's easier to trust it. You still want to do your research and really check, but he's done a really good job of getting that stuff out there. And you can go to greenmedinfo.com and type in whatever condition you have. Like if it's a lot of menstrual bleeding, then type it in and you'll come to a bunch of research about ginger tea and ginger and how that normalizes heavy menstrual bleeding. So there's stuff like this for everything. Well, not everything, but like a lot of stuff. It's in, and so let's 2-point you to that, the world of Green Med Info and your heart space. And let's drop a pebble. 3, 2, 1. And let all that go and go to your space, your place. What brings you great joy right now? Go. Easiest thing you'll ever do. Okay. And here goes. Okay, this is you. Okay, here it goes. There you go. Let's see what's going on. Okay, all this, entry. Whoa, exit. I think this is it. Whoa, how do I do this? I'm gonna go like that. This is all it is. Okay, on 3, drop a pebble. 3, 2, 1. And go to your place. I've had some great cats. Eartha, Minnie, and Zoe. I even thought, oh, if our first kid's a girl, we should name it Zoe. And Jen was like, no, we're not naming it Zoe. So then we thought we were going to name it Chloe after a really cool cafe in San Diego. And then we got our ultrasound and it was like, oh, it's going to be a little dude, Ben. Okay, you guys, I know this was a kind of interesting one. So the homework is to all day long spin energy, drop a pebble, and go to your place that brings you great joy. Just do it all day long. And then go to GreenMed Info and sign up for their emails. You'll be drawn to certain ones. They'll send you email pretty regularly. It's really cool stuff. And you can go read about Sawyer G and his tonsil story. If it can happen, it can unhappen. Okay, let's see what people are saying. I really should bring my glasses here. Is that? I think you're asking, where to find the fluoride treatment. I'll send it to you. It's interesting. My friend Ben found it. And he said, it's a really weird article. It's from this, he didn't say it's weird, but it's a weird article from this old osteopath in Australia, which is interesting because they fluoridate a lot there. And thank you, everybody. Thank you. And then I found it, and so I thought, what the hell, man? I'm dying anyway. And I tried it, and 3 days later I was back to running. And then we said, let's get out of here because they're fluoridating water. Let's go to where they're not. So it inspired a lot of action. I'm trying to read this. Let's see. Okay, cool. All right, everybody. So I will send you, I'll send you the info. It's a really weird article, but I've shared it before, but you can find it all over the internet. I told my friend Tom, who's Sharon Giammatteo's husband, late Sharon Giammatteo, and he, naturopath, chiropractor, acupuncturist, physical therapist, and he said, Ralph, you can share this. It's like, it's all over the internet. It's all over the PubMed that boron and magnesium detoxes fluoride. So it's what I used. So I'll send you that article. I'll send you a GreenMed info link, and then I'll just give you the notes of like spin energy, drop a pebble, and go to your place. It's one of those secrets of life. It's simple, so it's easy to miss. If you do this, now you can have some big shifts all day long. All right, everybody. See you tomorrow.